Hello everyone. I wanted to do another short, quick video continuing on kind of where I left off yesterday with all the babble, and so I will continue babbling. I've got a lot to say, and I've had a lot of questions, and I have had a lot of comments about what we're doing here today and yesterday. So I'm going to continue working in this signature that I was working in yesterday, and just to continue on, so you guys can see how I continue on with this. Of course, I did this in a different video. I did add the word, and I probably should have added the word in green because it looks a little odd to me, but I can fix it later. Or I can get used to it, you know, it just depends. So I did a lot of stuff in here yesterday, and basically what I just did was glued in papers. That's all I did really, is I just glued in some random bits of scrapbook paper, book paper that was plain and some that was painted, and I haven't finished any particular page. I've just kind of skipped around and added stuff here and there and done some stuff. So there was a question in the Facebook group about what to do with a journal page. If you've only got 5 minutes, what's a quick way to add color? I don't remember exactly how the question was worded. Something about I have a limited amount of time, and I want to do something other than acrylic paint because it takes so long to set up and to clean up afterwards. And my 5 minutes is wasted, you know, setting up paint and then cleaning it up. I haven't done anything with it. So I wanted to show some options, some different kinds of things that you can do instead of pulling out that acrylic paint. And I understand that acrylic paint thing, it's messy. I don't like to leave, I like to leave wet acrylic paint, just let it set. It's one of the last things I do to some of my stuff, so that I can just leave it out, let it dry by itself. Heat gun, it takes too much time. If you put your pages together with wet acrylic paint, you got stuck pages. I don't like that either. So one of the things that I like to do, and I will do it on here. I mean, one of the things I like to do, let me see, let's do it on maybe not that page, something a little bit more plain, something like this. I like to use stencils and makeup sponges and ink pads. I got some new stencils, haven't used them yet. So with all this geometric stuff up here, I think I'm going to use some triangles just to add some color, some design, and just to play around with stuff. Not to worry about it. I'll put something down. If I don't like it, I will cover it up with something else. And I am just trying to enjoy the process. I like to stencil. I like to do this kind of stenciling with the makeup sponge, a little bit of ink, because it's not very messy. It goes pretty quick. I don't care if it's crisp image when I get it done. I can use different colors on top. I don't have to wait for it to dry. It's, you know, really pretty easy to do. I like it. I like it, and I use it a lot. I might just put some different colors. The blues don't really match. Blue's a hard color to match. Blue kinda, I don't like blues so much. I mean, I do and I don't. There are times when I really like blue a lot with purple or teal or whatever, but blues are hard to match. That's the only drawback with blue. They really are really hard to match. So whoops, that's not the triangles, that's a different one. I oopsed. Go back to the triangles. so I can have triangles all over the place. I think I am going to switch colors. I need a blue. I think I've got a denim blue that will go with that. If I can find it. Here it is. Denim. I think I'll use that sponge because I don't have a sponge to go with this one yet. I need to find a rubber band. Let's see, yeah, that's a better blue. That works. So I'm just going to randomly put some triangles around with this blue. It's much darker too. Wow. I could probably turn them around and do some other stuff. Oops, there I go again with the hexagons and not the triangles. And I'm moving the stencil around so that the triangles are not in a pattern. They're just kind of moving around, doing stuff, adding some color, just adding some color. I like that. Another thing that, you know, just to play around, if I've got just a couple minutes, you know, another thing I really enjoy just doing is drawing around the stencils. So I like the triangles. I'm just going to randomly move the stencil around. This is my version of doodling. I'm not a very good doodler yet. Still need to practice a little bit. And this kind of gets me going doodle-wise. So it kind of, I'm hoping that it'll loosen me up with doodling in the future, but until then, it is a quick way just to fiddle with your page. So what do you do when you only have just a few minutes? And a lot of us, that's all we have in one given period of time. We don't want to get acrylic paints out because, you know, someone might wake up from a nap, or, you know, call on the phone and then you've got paints that are drying on your brush and you've ruined another brush. Acrylics, they're great for just fun, adding things quickly, and I like the results of acrylics a lot, but sometimes they are just a little bit too much trouble. So I am going to leave that for now, and that would be my 5 minutes. And I would walk away, and I don't have anything to clean up, really. But I've got something done, something a little bit more. Another thing I like to do if I've just got a few minutes, you know, something that's really relaxing for me. I need an image. This is the other half of that polar bear, and there's nothing to look at. So, you know, I'm going to have to put something right there. And let me put that sponge with that pad so that I can find a rubber band later and remember that's what I used. So I would go through my images and have this page out. I've got images everywhere, so I don't know what's in here. I kind of like the looks of this color with this. When I found that in my book pages, so I'm just going to leave that out as well. I'm actually looking at this pink, not necessarily for that one, but I just came across something in here. Oh, with pink. I like those pinks together. Of course, I don't like all this nonsense on this picture, but I like that. I am going to chop that off, as I don't necessarily need all that on the bottom. But I do like, no, it's covering up too much. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh. But this works. Look at how that picks up all that pink. That's very interesting. So I'm going to leave that for now. I hadn't, yeah, I don't know if I like it. I'm going to sit and stew on it for a minute. I'm going to flip other pages and leave it, get it out of my mind for a little bit. And I will come back to it later and see if, ooh, I'm going to see that other image and another time when I have more time to look at it and see if I decide if I like it. Now, I love the fact that this is almost exactly the right size. The blues don't necessarily match, but it has potential. I kind of think that's pretty cool. Let me see what else I can find in here to kind of go with that. Here's some blue. I see, I've noticed this color here. I don't know what that is. I guess it's a stage with a very large backdrop. It must be an outdoor stage of some sort. But I kind of like the scale of this small picture with a huge face, and the colors kind of go. Ooh, and here's another one where the color has captured my attention. It's perfect color for here. 3 images, that's probably enough for now for me to play around with, and I kind of like that. So I spend little bits of time. If I only have little bits of time, I will, gather stuff together, put them together to look at later, and I will look at that later when I have some more time. But that's what I do. If I have very, very small blocks of time, I will just go and do little bits. This needs to be covered up, so I might just glue something in there so that next time I work on it, it's better. I have something else to work with. So I'll kind of plan ahead and try to gather some images. I'll do some stenciling with some ink so that I don't have to worry about dry time. I can put it away. I doodle a little bit, draw a little bit. I love doing my little circles. And this is quite let me see if I can find my circles. Here we go. Quite a dark, I don't even, it's black. It's not even just dark. It's really, really, really black. Let me see if I can find a pen. I kind of want a Sharpie. Do I have a Sharpie? I must have a Sharpie somewhere. Yeah, here's a Sharpie. All right. So I will just, mess around with some different pages. And like I said, I am not, especially as a beginning this little adventure here with this junk journal, these junk journal signatures. I am not just going to try to start a page from start to finish right off the bat. I am doing a little bit here, a little bit there, whatever I feel like doing, whatever I can think of, just to do something, just to start. I had a comment, I'm terrified, I don't know if I can start. It's hard sometimes just to start doing something. Find something that you like doing. Do you like stamping? Do you like embossing? Emboss an image. And see, I'm just gonna put that on the next page just because I can. Sorry. Emboss an image, do some stenciling, paint a little bit on some paper and glue that paper in after it's dry. You can do a lot of little things. Don't sit there and say, okay, you're going to work on this for an hour. That's going to scare you to start again. So I think I might do little circles inside the big circles, since I've got a couple minutes and I am still babbling. It is hard to start doing just anything sometimes. So whatever it takes just to start, glue an image onto the paper, stencil over that image. I really do like that face, so I'm really thinking that I might just glue that on there, and then pick out the other stuff later. So I mean, that's all I've done, and my mind is going back to the other page. So let me go to that other page, and I'm just going to leave this and think of something else to do with this later. This is one of those techniques where you begin to like your pages because you're not forcing yourself to what else do I do, what else do I do? I'm going to force myself to do something. This way, when you're just kind of randomly, oh, you know, I think I'll do something there. I think I'll try something there. I really like that. I don't know, I don't like the white space around it, and of course I don't like this. I don't know what I would do with that. I might cut it off, and I might just leave it and cover it up with other stuff. But I do like the colors. I like the colors. I like the image. It is a little bit too long still. Cut that off a little bit more, I think. I do think. Yeah, I like that. I like being able to see the papers on the other side of that. I like that it is on top of some of these other papers, and then I can lay papers on top of that, so it kind of layers it up a little bit and kind of incorporates that image into, it might incorporate the image into the page. And I do really think that I like that, so I'm just going to glue that in there while I am thinking about it and that kind of thing. So bear with me here. So that's what I'm just trying to get across to you. You've got to start kissing those frogs, people. Got to start. We're never going to find our prince if we don't start kissing the frogs. And an easy way to start kissing frogs is to do little bits, a little bit at a time, and don't put any pressure on yourself. Don't force yourself to do something. Don't force yourself. Do a little bit of this. Let's try a little bit of that. Let's see what happens if this, you know, I need some more orange in here, and I'm kind of looking at this page sitting right next to me, and that is really cool. I like the fact that that orange brings out the leaves over here. It covers up that, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. It covers that up very nicely. I like that. And I'm gluing that in. I don't even have to think about that very long. It just seems right. It fits. It brings out the orange. It's karma. It was meant to be. The more you play around, how did I have that, guys? It was the other way. The more you play around with stuff, the more you audition pieces to put in, trying different things, give yourself some options, the more things that you're going to like. You're going to find something like, oh, well, I really like the way that looks. The more things that you play around with. And so I'm just going to leave that right now. I'm not going to force myself. Actually, I might put just a little bit of that on just because I might lose this paper. I might not be able to find it again when I'm looking for it. And that looks really weird with her eye there. It looks like I'm just cutting off her face. So it might need to be a much smaller piece. That does not work at all. So It's not working for me. It looks odd. I am just going to leave that little piece in there. I probably will use it somewhere in here. Not sure exactly where, when, how. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm unsure. So I'm not forcing myself. It's, you know, I'll come back to it another time. And that's what I'm just trying to say is you don't have to sit and finish a page all in one sitting. Take little bites. Little bites makes it a little bit easier. Just do a little bit, walk away, do a little bit more. The more you walk away and come back and start something, that's makes it easier to start stuff too. And you don't have to paint anything. You can paint papers, you know, scrape some paint on some papers, and walk away, let them dry. When you have some more time, you know, another 5 minutes, you know, do something else. I really do like this face here. I love the fact that it's the right size, and so I need a new page in my book here so I don't get glue on it, but I am going to glue that one in because I really do like it. I just love it. And I had actually taken this out of something else. You can see I ripped off, and it has little bits of glue and stuff. I ripped it off. It's wrinkled from what I had used it before. It just wasn't right. I went back to it a few times, and I just didn't like the way it looked, so I ripped it out. Let's try it someplace else because I liked the image. I just didn't like where I had put it before. It happens. I try not to do that, but I do. I do it. I do it more often than I should. I fiddle with stuff. And let me put that down. Let me see if I can get some of those wrinkles out this time by really rubbing it on. I put lots of glue on. This image is never coming off this piece of paper. I put way too much glue on it this time. So it is staying here for the rest of its natural life. And I'm just going to have to learn to live with it if I decide I don't like it after the fact. And that's all there is to it. So I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. And I might like it over here a little bit if I did some stenciling on here. Do some incorporate. I think I like this, but I don't like the whole thing here. I'm just going to cut that because I think I like the part of it, but I'm not sure. In doing that, I've lost the dragonfly now. Oops. It's, you know, some things just don't work. And I don't know if I really like it that way anymore. So that is one of those I shouldn't have, but we'll make it work with something else or someplace else or whatever. I'm leaving it here for now because I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it, and I do want to visit that later. So that's all I wanted to say is you don't have to force yourself to journal, do anything for any length of time. If you just want to do little 5-minute, little this, a little that, walk away, you know, don't worry about finishing a whole page in one sitting. If you do it gradually, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I tend to like my pages a little bit more if I do a little bit and not force myself to finish a whole page, because I will start doing stuff and then sometimes I've gone too far, you know, and I can't go back. I covered up something that I shouldn't have because I wanted to figure out something else to do. I need something else. What else can I do? So I like just fiddling around, moving from place to place, doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that wherever it feels right. Adding stuff. I don't necessarily like all this nonsense on this page, but I don't want to put that there because there's more security envelope. So I will be working in, well, obviously I'm just working in one signature at a time. So you can see how it progresses and my thought process and all that good stuff. So I will probably pull this out this next week, or maybe I might do a little bit of this on this weekend. And we'll continue on just fiddling and kissing frogs and seeing what happens. There might be a prince in here. There might be. We have to continue working on it, and there might not be. Oh well. Oh well. So that's all I kind of wanted to say. Take your time, fiddle, have fun. Do something you enjoy. Find something that you enjoy. It might be stamping, might be embossing, something. Thanks for watching.